Beat, wanna feel it.
All right, you guys, welcome to the Q&A. This is gonna be a little bit more laid back, chill. I film on my phone. I've mentioned that before, so I have all of my questions right here. I only got 2 from my video on YouTube. The rest of them came from Instagram. And also, I got some people who didn't really leave questions. They just said that they were thankful that they found my channel, and other people that were just being really sweet, which makes my heart so happy. I love that there's such a sweet community that we have around here. And it means a lot to me. And it means a lot that y'all ask questions. I was so worried that nobody was gonna ask questions because I only saw 2 on my YouTube video, and one of them was my cousin. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so bad. And then I went and it took me a minute to find out that y'all had sent questions because your girl doesn't know how to work Instagram very well. And apparently it's not like it sends me a, what is it called? A message saying that you had responded. Like if I respond to somebody's Instagram post or like story, it puts it in like a chat. So I thought that's what was gonna happen, is like I would have a chat or whatever. And no, it shows up under your notifications. And I was like, oh, well, way to go, Daniel. So anyways, I will at the end be going over my mobility and stretch routine for each training day. That was one of the questions that was asked from my sweet... Sorry about that. I have gotten so many phone calls today. It's not even funny. But my girl, Lori, she's always like my hype woman. We talk all the time on Instagram. I love you, girl. You literally are the best person. And she always has something to challenge me with. And she asked me to do mobility and stretch routines to show what I do before I work out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at those. I do a lot more for my lower body than I do my upper body. But that is something that I am working on, is getting to make sure that I am stretching my upper body out. But I will show some of that at the end. It's pretty basic. You might actually, go to Nicole's last what I eat in a day. Oh gosh, I'll tag it. Nicole at the beginning of her workout did a mobility work before she did her at-home leg day. That is almost identical to what I do for my leg day. I just do one other thing different than her. Also, if y'all see my monitors like start coming in, it's because like I had to part them to be able to see y'all and have my laptop. But anyways, she does almost the exact same leg workout or warm up that I do. But my shoulder ones are just banded ones, but I'll show that at the end. Don't worry about that. But I know that was one of the ones. And then she also asked on YouTube, where is it? Favorite non-scale victory so far. And that one really got me thinking hard because there are so many. But if I was going to be selfish and just talk about like something for me that doesn't involve my family or anything like that, my favorite non-scale victory right now is being able to walk into any store and try on clothes. I've talked about this in that video that I did of clothes and places that I like to buy at. I can go into any store and try on anything right now. And the funny thing is I'm not as skinny as I was back when I could do that. Like I was around 190 to 200 when I could easily go do that, try on anything in the store. And I'm 250 right now, 245 to 250 in maintenance, fluctuating. But it is so funny, but it melts my heart and it makes me so happy. And me and her have talked about it. But that is my favorite non-scale victory, selfishly. That has been so awesome. And also wearing all the clothes that I used to couldn't wear that I now can. Like this Oakley shirt, it used to not fit. It's still a little tight, but I'm like, I don't even care. So that's one. And then I guess my other non-scale victory is being able to enjoy my kids more. I, last year and the year before that, had so much weight on my body and I was so miserable because, as you know, I live in Georgia. It's hotter than Hades. And there went that pen I was playing with. I couldn't handle the heat I would go out there and be like, nope, we're going inside. Like, I didn't want to spend time with my kids outside. I didn't want to chase them. I didn't want to run after them. And it was just miserable. And now I go outside and I'm like, okay, like they come in before I want to come in, you know, type of a thing. And it's really, really special. And I think also that has really helped bond me and my girls because they know that I want to spend time with them and do things with them. So that's really special. So those would be my non-scale victories. But my favorite one, I still think would be the clothes thing, just selfishly, because that's something that is just crazy. So another one that I got from my cousin, Michaela. I love Michaela. She's the one who did my intro, by the way, for my video. And me and her are going to start working on a shred intro. So excited. It's going to be so cool. But her question is your go-to when you're struggling with food temptation? I'm not sure if she meant like what food I gravitate towards when I'm struggling with food temptation or how do I handle it. I also got one on Instagram. I don't know a lot of people's names on Instagram because of the tags. Like I know some of them that ask me questions, but some of them, you know, like I can't decipher the names because they're, you know, username. But another person asked, how do you handle cravings? So I kind of combine those together, and the way that I handle cravings, like craving something, is I will fit it in my macros, but make it at home. So for instance, I absolutely crave Mexican food when I'm dieting. There's just something about spicy salsa, cold, I don't know what it is, but every single time I diet, I crave Mexican food. So what I'll do is once or twice a week, I will either make it for dinner. So I'll do Nicole has a taco bake. I will either do that or I will do tacos. But I will either do that during the week or for my lunches, I'll make crunch wraps or something that is taco based. I know during the shred, I don't have the macros for crunch wraps. So what I do a lot of times is have rice, ground beef that has been seasoned as taco meat. And then I'll do cottage cheese and scoop it with Tostito scoops. Nicole also does that, but a little bit different. She adds like salsa and stuff. But I will do that when I'm craving Mexican food. I will just make it myself. Yes, I miss out on my chips and salsa and stuff, but it's only 8 weeks. And then after 8 weeks, I will have it every single Saturday until I'm sick of it. So that's how I handle cravings. Also pizza, as y'all know, every single Sunday during the shred, I will have pizza. It is just one of those single serve pizzas so I can track it really easily and don't have to worry about, you know, trying to figure everything out. Also, a lot of people do the 2 ingredient dough pizzas. I just don't like making them. They're a pain in the butt to make and they stick to my fingers. So I don't make those. I just buy the individual one and eat that. As well as sushi, I make that fit. And I can track it because I showed y'all in one of my very first videos how to try the sushi during shredding. So that's kind of what I do. And then if I'm struggling with like temptation in the house, like if I don't have enough calories and I'm hungry and I'm starving, I remove myself or I distract myself. So if I'm downstairs, I will remove myself and go upstairs if I have the opportunity to. That's like if I'm home alone or if Alex is here and I can get away from it for a little bit, because when you're shredding, it is very, very hard to have other people. Like Alex, thankfully, was in the shred with me last time, but this next one, he's going to be doing a bulk. So, and the very first one, he was kind of doing his own thing. So it's really hard, especially when he comes home late after I've already ate dinner and my dessert and he's eating like an entire dinner and dessert in front of me. I tell him I love you, but I can't be around you. He understands and I'll go upstairs and then we'll spend time together afterwards. You know, and also he's done it to where he'll go and sit at the dining room table instead of sitting on the couch. You know, it's little sacrifices. I know it sucks, but we do it for each other. And like, if he wants to go out to eat and he knows I personally don't, then he will go out for lunch or something like that. So, you know, it's a give and take when it comes to that. If you're having that issue where people in your family, you know, you're struggling with the same issues. The other thing is distracting myself. I know on Saturdays during the shred, I will start cleaning. I will start doing things that keep my mind occupied. Because if you really start getting into whatever you're doing, like I'll listen to a book or something like that, put my headphones in, listen to Pandora or something and start getting distracted, start cleaning something, or even just going outside or taking a walk or something, like, you know, that if you have kids, you have to kind of accommodate for that. But it'll help get your mind off of it. And then you'll look in 3 hours have passed and you're like, well, that was easy, you know? And also my favorite one is take your ass to bed. That's what we joke about during the shreds. It's like, we're all just complaining about being hungry and we're just like, go to bed, and we're like, it's 5 o'clock. So, but that's how I kind of handle temptations in the house. And also I do not allow some things in the house. Like, for instance, my muffins. I know that there might be a day that I want to go ham and have 2 or 3 muffins because I'm just, I don't know, hungry. And I'm like, I can fit those in my macros, but not perfectly, but I'm going to do it. That's why I only buy 4 muffins at a time, if you notice, because for training days, 4 muffins, there's no more, you know, to go into anything else. So that's one thing that I like to do is if you are going to have certain things in the house that trigger you or that can do that, make sure you have only a certain amount of them that are supposed to be used for specific things. So yeah, that's one thing that I do. The next question is, what is my favorite color? Favorite color is blue. I was born in December, so I think that's why I'm all blue, everything. It's my favorite color. If I had to pick my favorite shade of blue, I would have to go with probably a royal blue. My wedding was royal blue and coral, so that would be my favorite. What shoes are you wearing for training? I love the Hoka or Hoki, whatever you call them, Bondi 8s. After having Achilles surgery, it took me years to find shoes that didn't hurt when I was training and stuff. And these literally don't hurt at all. They are my miracle shoes. They do have a big heel on them. So if you don't like a lot of cushion, I have to have a lot of cushion. If you don't like that, then don't. Do they affect my like leg day because they have a cushion? Absolutely not. I think that's what has helped me so much in not having pain while lifting and doing leg day, because I'm not flat on the ground. But I will tell you, when I do RDLs and certain things like that, I will take them off because I feel like when I'm doing RDLs, they do kind of prohibit the hamstring to be stretched out. So I will take them off sometimes for RDLs. What was your starting weight? My starting weight was 296.3. It was also my ending weight when I had Brooklyn, and then I lost a little bit, and then by the time the next shred started, I was back up to that. How long is your rest period during training? It depends. It really depends. When I'm doing heavy lifts, if I'm leg pressing, if I'm doing leg extensions, shoulder presses, anything that exerts a lot of effort out of my body, it's between 2 to 3 minutes. But if it's something like glute kickbacks or side kicks or something not so strenuous, a minute to a minute and a half, whenever I feel completely recovered. But also know that you should be pushing yourself to failure on almost every single set. So you do need the rest time. You shouldn't be able to go back into it 10 to 20 seconds later. If you're able to go back and do a whole nother set within 10 to 20 seconds, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So keep that in mind. What diets have you tried in the past and why did you choose this? Do you have time to listen to all the diets I've tried? Let me see. I started off doing Atkins when I was little. I did Weight Watchers when I was little with my mom. I did personal training, calorie counting when I was younger. I kind of did my own thing for a few years, and then I did South Beach. That became a thing. After South Beach, I had knee surgery, and then I don't know what it's called, but it's an all shake diet. When you go to a weight loss clinic, they put you on all shakes. It's like medicated, not medicated. It's like, it's by them. They give you the shakes. Like, you have to pay a crap ton of money. Like, I had a knee surgery and I was trying to keep the weight off because I was literally in a brace for 6 months and then had to have another surgery. And anyway, sorry, somebody went flying by the house. I did the all shake diet with the place. I never really lost a lot of weight. Like, I lost muscle. It was miserable. I cried a lot, but I thought it was what I needed to do. And then I did calorie counting on and off, then tried Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers didn't work. And then I kept doing the calorie counting thing. And then I finally got to my wit's end and I said, screw it. And I joined Nicole's programs because I thought, I got to do something. And I had seen her first shred. She did her first ever like shred program when I had just had Brooklyn. And I think I've shared this before, but I had followed Nicole for about a year and a half before that. And she was coming out of carnivore and into more of the anabolic, like high protein. And I was so depressed that when I was pregnant with Brooklyn, I had to quit watching Nicole. And Nicole, if you're watching, like, I know I've shared this. I had to quit watching her. I had to quit watching Imogen. I had to quit watching anybody that was fitness related because I was so upset and disgusted with myself. I knew I was pregnant, but I was just going through a lot. And then when the first shred program came around, it was in April. I had just had Brooklyn in January, and there was no way I could join the shred program. I was breastfeeding. I was still trying to figure out everything. So I messaged her and was like, please tell me you're doing another one. Like, I need another one. I need it. I need it. I need it. And she was like, yes, September, join it. You better be there. I was like, okay. So I kind of prepared myself the whole time leading up to September. I was one of those, for some reason, when I was breastfeeding, I couldn't lose weight. I just kept putting on weight. It didn't matter what I did. I was exclusively pumping, and by September, my goal was to have enough milk in the freezer to be able to start the shred. I started the shred still pumping. I was weaning off, and by the middle of the shred, about 3 weeks in, because they were 6 weeks at that time, I had stopped pump. I was completely done with pumping. So if you are breastfeeding or something like that, you can do her programs. But try to be towards the end of it. I don't know how it would affect you if you are early on breastfeeding is what I'm saying. But I chose this because there was nothing else. And I decided that I trusted Nicole. I had watched her, listened to her. Everything she said just was like ding, 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 like light bulbs. And I was like, she knows what she's doing. I'm going to put my trust in her. And I've never looked back and never been happier. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Do you have a goal weight, or are you going more for an aesthetic appeal? An aesthetic appeal. I guess that means, like, am I wanting to look a certain way? Yeah, I think that's what that means. Goal weight, realistically, I want to get down to 200 pounds before I start kind of examining what I look like. I love the way I look. I love all the muscle, but realistically, 250 pounds is not healthy. 200 pounds, between 190 and 200 when I was younger, I looked really good. I know that sounds crazy, but I did. I will insert a picture right here of what I looked like at 200 pounds. I was 200 pounds coming out of basketball season, going into prom. So mine and Alex's prom, I was 200 pounds and I looked like that. So I want to get down to 200, see where I'm at, all of that type stuff. An aesthetic appeal, muscled. I want to be muscled. I want to be as skinny as possible. And also, I've already opened up and been honest about the fact that I will have skin removal surgery. If I'm going to work this hard and be this young after working, I'm going to look the way I want to. So I guess that's the aesthetic appeal. So I'm not sure what that weight will be by that time. Where did you and your husband meet? We met at Dairy Queen. We were working there together. I actually, tying in with the prom thing, I had a best friend who was dating somebody at the high school that he went to. I was going to a different high school. And we had always promised each other we would go to prom together and be able to have fun. But we ended up going to different high schools, so we couldn't go to prom together. So I ended up asking him because I knew he didn't have a prom date. And like me and him were decently friends. Like, there was kind of that, like, awkward chemistry type thing. But I was like, I was young. I was like dating, just going on dates and stuff like that. So like, I wasn't taking anybody seriously. I know that sounds terrible, but when you're young, have fun. But he wasn't super social. He was more of a work, go home, do school, studious person. And I was like, hey, you go to such and such school. How about you take me to prom? And he was like, okay. And then our love story sparked from prom. It was awesome. He was such a gentleman. And then I ended up falling for him. And yeah, it was awesome. But, what is your go-to food if not shredding / cutting? My go-to food, if I'm not cutting and stuff, is pizza. I love pizza, but I don't crave it as much as Mexican food. Like, it's like I told my husband, we crave the Mexican food so bad, and then we get there and eat the chips and salsa, and then we're like, like you feel like crap because you ate all this salt and all this stuff. But pizza is still my favorite food. Like, if you give me a nice pizza restaurant, I will go tear it up. But I love it so much to the point that I like to kind of eat it in moderation, like once a month, twice a month, because like I don't want to overdo it to the point that I don't enjoy it anymore. I know that sounds stupid, but it's how my brain processes. So that is my favorite food. I think that's it. Like I said, there wasn't very many questions, but there were a few, and I appreciate any and all questions. I think that's so neat that y'all care enough to ask me these questions. And hopefully next time that we do one, we'll have more. But this is going to be the bonus video for the month. I'm working on a lunchbox one for I think I'm going to do it this month. It's been a little cray with the first week of school. Let's just say that. Like, this is Friday and I'm just now filming everything because it's just been insane. And then Wednesday, like I said, I basically took all Wednesday off to be able to take care of myself and do some pampering. But I will go ahead and move into showing y'all some mobility things that I do to warm up, and then we'll close it out. But I just, again, thank you so much for everyone who left like sweet messages instead of questions. I truly do appreciate them more than you know. It's awesome being able to do this. I would have never dreamed that I would be doing YouTube. Well, and it's fun. It's nice, and building a community and everything. So genuinely from the bottom of my heart, like, thank you. But let's go ahead and move into some mobility work. Okay, so for mobility work, my upper days are basically the same. I feel like you should warm up your back for shoulder days, and I feel like you should warm up your shoulders for back days. I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, because a lot of stuff that I need to be able to do, like pull-ups and stuff like that for my back, I also need my shoulders activated. So I'm gonna kind of combine these because, like I said, they are the same for me at least. And then I'll show leg day at the end. Let me go ahead and lower y'all just a smidgen. Okay, so I got these bands off of Amazon. I have a pack of these. I do not use these on my legs because these are rubber and I ain't trying to get my butt popped by them. And also they hurt when you're wearing like shorts and they're on your skin. They can like pinch your skin. But the first thing that I like to do is do just some banded work. All I'm doing is taking my arm and pushing it behind me. And then I'll do the same thing with this one, palm out. And then I'll go up, just kind of pulling like a lawnmower. And then I'm going to show you from behind on this one because I'm really working on pinching my back together, my shoulder blades. And that's kind of what I do to warm up with a band. The only other thing that I will do is instead of dead hanging, like lifting my feet off the ground, I will go hang on a bar and just kind of swing side to side, really stretch out that back. You can also do this laying down if you can't reach the bar, if you're too short. You can lay on the ground and do the same thing. Just kind of rotate side to side, pushing your shoulder blades into the ground. And then if you're hanging, you're pushing them back. And also, one thing I really love to do is wall crawls. You put your hands flat on the wall and use your fingertips to crawl up the wall. Ooh, that's a good one. Hold it and do those a couple times. And then you also rotate and keep your arms flat against the wall here. Stretch out that way. But that's really all I do for shoulders and back. The back area normally is not very hard for me to activate or warm up. Just doing like some twists and stuff really helps. And the dead hang, not dead hang because I'm not lifting my legs off the ground, but just hanging is what gets me the best in my back. So that's all I really do for my back day. Let me go ahead and show you what I do for my leg day. All right, so leg day is a lot about opening up my hip flexors and my inner thigh, this area, because that's what I have the tightness in. So that's what I really like to work on. So I'll first start by doing some just leg swings out to the side. Another one. And really make sure you're kicking up as high as you can to really open up and stretch all that area and stretch this. And then of course you've got the side kicks. And also I just had leg day earlier today, so my legs are like the ride. And then my most important one that I do is I get my legs a little bit wider than shoulder, more sumo, turn my toes out, and then I'll take my hands and start pushing down into a squat. Slide your hands out, and as your hands slide, you're pushing. So you're pushing out, out, hold. When it gets too tight, hold and bounce, and then go lower. That bouncing helps you to get loose so you can go lower, bounce, get lower, bounce, get lower, get as low as you can. And then what I do is I take my elbows, put them on my quads, and take my hands and push out. And then start going side to side. Up on the toes, up on the toes, up on the toes. And then when that's done and I feel good and stretched, I will do some side steps. Do these kind of quick so you get the blood flowing. And it's gonna burn. You think it's not gonna burn, but it is. But if you don't feel the burn, put a band on. That'll really get them going. And then another one I like to do is just do like a little dance. No, I'm just kidding. But it looks like it, but it really does help with your ankles because I'm rolling my ankle. Getting those all loosened up. I don't know if you can hear them popping. And then another good one I like to do, which is because of my Achilles issues, is, hold on, let me lower you so you can actually see what I'm doing. So because I have Achilles problems, I like to sit back. Really make sure that's stretched. A lot of people will put their foot up against the wall. I like doing this better. Push down into that quad to get it stretched. Switch. And this will get you ready for your RDLs, stuff like that. So, and always have your toes up. And then just a good, get your ankles warmed up. You need your ankles more than you think. Go one way, go the other way. One way, the other way. But yeah, that's all I do to get warmed up for leg day. And then also, forgot, I don't walk on the treadmill before workouts. I guess I should. I know Nicole will probably be like, Danielle, but oh my gosh, quad day did me in today. It takes too long for me to get warmed up and wait on equipment to have to worry about also doing 5 minutes on the treadmill. But I do these exercises so quickly, my heart rate actually gets high enough that it registers in my exercise. So as long as you're doing them and getting your blood flowing, I think that's really good. If you do need to get on the treadmill, also it's hotter than Hades right now in Georgia, so I don't really need to warm up like on a treadmill to get warm and hot. During the winter, maybe, but I like to bundle up before I come in, so that way I stay warm. And normally I'll wear a sweatshirt through my warm-ups, take the sweatshirt off, and then that helps me get warm as well. But if you are somebody that needs to walk on the treadmill, beforehand, do that for sure. But nothing spectacular, nothing like crazy. Like I said, Nicole does a very similar warm-up with mobility, and her video will be linked below, so you can go check that out. But I hope y'all enjoyed my Q&A again. I'm going to end it here, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!